Hello YouTubers, welcome back to GQ Auto Diagnostics and Repair, where my job was to save you money. Welcome back. Today we're going to show you how to replace the AC compressor on this 95 Chevy K 1500 5.7 automatic 4x4. AC compressor is leaking right here through the body, and the AC discharge hose, we have like a dent or missing a piece of the rubber of the hose, so we're going to replace those two things. And at the same time, every time that I do an AC compressor, I like to replace the orifice tube. And this vehicle is located right here, right behind the turn signal housing or assembly. So you're gonna need a 7/8 and a 15/16 wrench. So the system obviously doesn't have charge right now because, like I say, the compressor is leaking through here. Now, disclaimer, the compressor body is leaking, but the compressor itself internally, it works correctly. So if we added nitrogen or pressure in the system, you can turn the AC system and the pressures, they are moved correctly. Okay, the high pressure on the low side. So I don't expect to see debris here. If it is, we're gonna have to call the customer and tell them that we might need to replace the condenser. All right, but at this point I'm just replacing the compressor and the lines. So I will bring you right through the repair as much as I can. So there you have it. All right, so 7/8. Let me see if I can locate, place the camera somewhere so you guys can see. Oh, alright, gonna have to pause the video. Alright, this moment, this is how I'm doing it. As you can see, the 7/8 right there, it's going right through because of the angle. So just be careful when you loosen up that nut, this too, because the condenser is aluminum. Okay, the body, the whole thing. However, the nut is metal, different metal than aluminum. I can't remember what the name of the metal. So sometimes this can get stuck in the aluminum, and when you remove it, it will strip the thread of the condenser. So in that case, you need to replace the condenser. So make sure, if he's giving you a lot of hard time to do that, take your time, try to loosen up a little at a time, so that way you can don't damage the condenser. Okay, I've seen it happen. I already break this one loose, so I'm gonna use a hand. So far everything is working accordingly. Okay, so this, you want to make sure sometimes if it line doesn't come out, just grab the line and wiggle it up and down so that it can break loose there and it can separate. Okay, so be careful too with the grill. It's a nice car. We now want to damage the vehicle from somebody else's because, oh yeah, I already broke down loose too, because we want to treat the car like it's our own vehicle, so that way customer is always happy. We can feel proud of our work. Okay, so excellent, guys. If you're watching this video so far, or this far, please take a second, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, share the video. That will really help my channel and me, and keep me motivated to keep creating these videos, so I can, my goal with these videos is to help other people to get the car fixed, the right way, but also at the same time save as much money as possible. All right, that's my job. It's what I tell you every time. You know, my job is to save you money. And okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to put the camera down a little bit to break those two loose so I can just continue with the repair. All right then, so here now we're gonna use you can probably see this, maybe not, it's kind of too dark there, at least on the video. So this is the Orifice tube. Okay, when you remove it, this one should go only one way, regardless. Right there I have an arrow. It's going to go pointing towards the way you see it right there. So which the hose, the line is going to go towards the back of the car to inside the vehicle. Now if you see a lot of metal here, that is a bad sign. Okay, this one doesn't see metal. I don't see any metal. They're a little tiny, so I'm not concerned. So I want to put a new one, replace the compressor, the hose, and very important. Okay, I didn't mention it early, but the customer wanna get it going the most affordable ways possible. So you know, sometimes there's so much I can do to please the customer, and I'm going to try to do as much as I can today. But to do a good job, it's always a good practice to flush the system, replace all the major components, including the condenser. So that way we as a technician can guarantee that the vehicle or the AC system is going to work, perform the way it's supposed to. Because right now we're just replacing what is needed, and the vehicle, the customer purchased the vehicle and the AC wasn't working. So I don't know how the system was working before. I know the tests that I performed tell me that everything should work correctly, but again, I'm just using my knowledge to make a judgment here, just in case somebody have a different opinion. That is a little bit more information before somebody try to correct me without knowing the whole story of the vehicle. Let me continue. I gotta bring out the tools so I can just start to taking things apart. Alright guys, so next I'm gonna remove the manifold hose assembly from the compressor and from the accumulator. This bolt right here, if it's the original, should be around 15mm bolt. That's it. This should come. Wiggle it. It comes out. Okay. So from here, we are going to remove the accumulator. Okay. So right there. Okay. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this thing back. Here. Also remember, pay attention, how do you remove where the hose itself goes right through it, so that way you guys can actually put it back the same way and don't try to put it on the wrong over a different hose or under a different hose, and ended up getting yourself very giving yourself a hard time. So yeah, so as I said, that is the part, the reason I'm replacing the hose. It's damaged there, so I don't want to do a bunch of work and put refrigerant, and after it works for a little while, it gets it just started leaking. I'll destroy the hose for the pressure. Alright guys, so here is the new, brand new hose. Okay, there you have it. The good thing, the new hose, they already have the new fittings for the high pressure and the low pressure, which make my work easier. So here, always pay attention on this side. That you have most of the time they come with the seals here most of the time, and because of that, sometimes technicians forget to check and they automatically assume and just replace the hose and install it. You put pressure on and start leaking because obviously they're not seals there, so keep that in mind. This one does have it, so we're going to keep it there, and we're going to put those right here. Okay. This one gotta go right to the condenser. Go. That goes there. So this one is going to come here behind the compressor. We are going to bring it over under the pressure hose, and we can twist it, install it, and should be good to put it on place. Alright. Okay, great. So something here on the fittings, you should have the O-ring there. Okay, make sure the old one is not stuck there, and do the same thing on the pressure side. When you're ready to install it, make sure you have the O-rings, so that way you don't have a leak and waste time and refrigerant and all the thing. So just remember that. I know you guys already know that anyhow. Yes. Okay, so that should be easy to install. The next step here is going to be to remove the AC compressor. To do that, we're gonna do a couple things. First of all, we need to remove the belt. Okay, you're gonna use 5/8 or 15/16 or 5/6 of 5/8 or 16 millimeters. That will work. We're going to remove the belt, so we can just here come on the back and remove those 1, 2, 3 nuts, so that with the bolts they're gonna come on forward. And this bolt they have one side that is, I believe, that is flat, so that way they can go right through the pulley of the condenser. I mean, oh my goodness, right to the clutch. Right, so then we're gonna pull this up. All right, so let me get the tools that I need, and I'll resume the video. All right then, so let's remove the tension belt to pull up. There you go. It's right there. Next, we're going to remove the air filter housing, because here in the back is one bracket. I need to remove that, and the bolt that's holding the bracket on the intake manifold is underneath, pretty much. There it is. Put it there. This is what I'm doing. So there's the bracket. That is the one over there. Maybe 916. I'm gonna check this out, and obviously it's something on the freaking way. Yeah. Yep, 916. Well, could be worse, right? Loosen up so we can slide it back. It does have room to slide it. Okay, so now we can remove that nut over there and continue removing stuff. There it is. Had a little bit of rust. Alright guys, the first one has come out. So what I was saying earlier, you see this bolt? This bolt right here, the head on one side is a flat spot. So that way you can line up this flat spot with the oh my goodness, with the compressor clutch. so you can just pull that, give you enough room to pull that bolt out of it. If you don't, it's gonna get stuck there, right? So that's why, pay attention to that. So we have 2 bolts, the bottom 2 pretty much they're the same length. Okay, rust. Line it up. This is the long one. It goes around 1 o'clock. Now we have to wiggle this a little so it can come out. There it is. There it is. And for some reason I cannot remove. There it is. Whew. Finally. Okay. Now let's take this sucker out. Out. So what you saw me doing was pushing this little guides here or spacers back, so that would could have free the compressor a little. So I'm just pushing it back. Put the new compressor, it's just gonna slide down. All right, guys. So right now, this is I'm gonna start the video here. Gotta get the other compressor ready, and need to transfer. Usually this, the pressure, the high pressure, have to be removed. That switch, you know, remove that little lock over there. Have the pliers, pull it, wiggle it, and twist it and wiggle it, pull it out, and you transfer this to the new compressor. Okay, that's what you got to do. Then the next step, we need to check the how much oil the compressor itself require, so we can add the correct amount of oil. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to find all that information when I get back and continue with the video. Alright guys, so we have the compressor here. Okay, this compressor is remanufactured, so it's a little bit more affordable than the new one. That's what the customer wanted, trying to save as much money as possible. So what I can do. So first things first, on this we will need to remove the high pressure switch. The high pressure switch, you can have some of this, you know, pliers to remove the lock. Okay, sometimes it's a good practice with a screwdriver. You can push it and relocate it in a different position, so you can actually remove it easily. Okay, so there is, put it there. You can wiggle it, sometimes come off, sometimes it doesn't, so you can grab it like this, and we can just try to get it out of there. Wiggle it side to side. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This case is just refusing. It's coming. For the most part, it is a lot easier than this, but it's okay. Take your time. There is. Now make sure the two prongs on there, they're there. They didn't got twists or broken or anything. So we are going to do the same procedure on this. Okay, right here. Now on this, if everything is good, most of the time when you remove either the bolt here, we can hear some vacuum like whoosh. There it is. Okay, so this is a good thing because number one, it's in the vacuum. Air contain moisture, okay, humidity. So if it's inside for a long time, the humidity will create some rust. We don't want rust inside the AC compressor or AC components. So it's a good thing. Number two is a sign that the unit, if it holds vacuum, that means we have no leaks. That's a plus. All right. Now here is very important. We're gonna have two ports. We're gonna have the high pressure, which is called discharge, and the suction side or the low pressure side. So the high pressure is gonna be a smaller hole. The suction side is gonna be a bigger hole. So you can kind of see it here. On this one, the diameter is smaller than this. Okay, so that's what it is. And the one is the diameter bigger, the suction side. It's an S right there. You can see it on this one, S for suction and D for discharge. On this one might be a little bit different, or different be challenging because this is painted black, and this one actually doesn't. Oh, there it is. Okay. You have it a little bit different position, this one. All right, so anyhow, on the suction side, on the bigger side, that's where we're gonna add the oil for the compressor. Okay, so anyhow, okay, so let's continue with this one thing at a time.
Now guys, I'm gonna just make a comment really quick. If you don't have this kind of tools, you know, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. The reason I mentioned that is because somebody made a comment in one of the videos that I should use tools that other people or normal people should use. Number one, I don't know what normal means to other people, so I can't do that because I don't know what normal means to somebody. Okay, number one. Number two, the purpose of the videos is not to show you what tools that I use. It is more to show you how things are removed, what components you're going to replace, so you can replace them and fix them. Okay, I cannot help you if you guys don't have the right tools, because obviously you don't work, this is not your full-time profession, so obviously you won't have the majority of the tools that a technician or mechanic is going to have. So don't get upset at me because I use tools that you might don't have. So don't make those kind of comments, because like on that part I can't help you. Okay, so I didn't show, in case I didn't show something or I said something wrong, yeah, sure, go ahead and say, hey, ask a question, but please don't tell me, hey, you're using this tool and I don't have it, so therefore you should not use it. Like, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about it. Anyhow, okay, so now the snap ring is there, nice in place. So this part is done. So the next thing we need to do, we need to remove. Here it says add oil. Okay, we gotta, with 3 ounces, is pre-charged with 3 ounces of oil. Massaro committed. Okay, so we're going to remove the oil, measure it, and put the right amount of oil there. On this compressor, I believe it's going to be between 2.5 to 3 ounces of oil max. So we're going to go do that, and I will show you as much as I can. And don't forget this ones, okay? Those going to go on the manifold hose, so that way we don't have a leak on this one. All right, so I got to find something to measure the oil. All right guys, so here's our measuring cup. Got 2 ounces, 4 ounces, and around 3 ounces. Okay, so we're gonna measure, make sure we got the right amount. At the same time, we are going to use the correct oil. And for this application, it is PAG 150. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so I think that's the most we're gonna get out of here, out of this one. And at this point, it's almost 3 ounces. So we can it's a little bit above, almost to here, almost 3. We won't be able to get all 3 out of them because obviously they're gonna stay some oil on the walls of compressor itself. Okay, but sometime I found that some compressors said that they have oil and they have nothing. They come dry. So that's why you have to measure it, and you have to double check, triple check. Other way, it just is you gambling. Okay, maybe have it, maybe don't. Now we're gonna get the new oil. Alright, so here is the oil. Let's see if we got enough. Maybe we don't. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Alright, and so here's the new oils, almost 3 ounces. Kind of the same that what we took out of it. So we're gonna pour it back in on the suction side. Go slow. Bubble. So one of the things, the recommendation when you do this, even if you have oil, is the compressor has to spin several times before it gets completely lubricated. Okay, so the manufacturer recommend the technician to actually go ahead and use a tool to spin the compressor clutch, so that way it can be properly lubricated. Other way, if you don't do that, you can damage the compressor and potentially decrease the life of that remain compressor. Okay, so very, very important to follow that instructions. Do not, okay, let me explain this really quick. Do not use a socket, a ratchet, and a nut. Use this nut here to spin the compressor. What happened there, if you do that, you're going to over tight this the torque of this nut, and also it can damage the compressor. Okay, or you can sometimes strip it. Weird stuff happen, guys, so please just follow the specs and you should be fine. Alright, so the next thing here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna push these little guys back, so that way the compressor can slide down and be okay. Other way, you're gonna try to force the compressor down, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna push those back, and here are the, you know, this car is nasty. It wasn't a farm. This is the old ones. I already put the new ones there, so we are going to go ahead and push them back. All right, that's one. Two. It's hard to hit it with one hand. There you go. Now you can see that is slide back, all 3 of them. So that will make our job a lot easier. Let me place this camera here. Hopefully you guys can see, and I'm sorry if I'm moving the camera too much, but I'm doing what I can to show you as much as possible. Okay. So here is our compressor. Okay. So the compressor have some grooves there, so keep the clutch connector to 12 o'clock, so you should be able to slide the compressor, no problem. Okay, now here there are 3 bolts and one is the longest. The longer ones goes to all the way on the top. Okay, remember in the other video I show you here this bar, so it's gonna line up with the clutch, so that way the bolt can slide in and out. Remember, these bolts have that little flat spot there. So that flat spot is going to allow the bolt to go through it, and you put it down, so it's going to line up with that and prevent the bolt from spinning when you tighten up the knot on the back. This one is the long one. This one's going to go all the way on the top. I don't remember how much is the torque spec for this, the compressor here, so I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it on the description below. Just tighten them up, use common sense, don't over torque it. Just you can twist the inside of the compressor. Don't do that. Use your best judgment. Is that, and what else? Pull this. Push it, pull it up, so that way you can slide the bolt. That's it. 1, 2, and 3 right here. Hold it. That last one goes here on the top. Spin it. Alright guys, for vacuum, okay, I don't think I'm gonna show the vacuum process because it's going to connect the gauges to the vacuum and charge the system. I'm going to use a machine to do that, a recovery machine. So if you don't have one of those, well, it's no point for you guys to see it. But anyhow, when you do that, you're going to need at least half an hour to 45 minutes of vacuum. After that, vacuum has to be tested for at least 5 minutes. Okay, and if the vacuum, it doesn't lose the vacuum, that means you don't have any leaks, okay, on the vacuum stage. So if that's the case, you'll be okay to charge the compressor, and your system should be okay. Now for this vehicle, if I remember correctly, you're gonna have around 900 grams, so it's like 1 pound and like 0.02, something like that. It's a little bit less than 3 cans. Okay, I tell you that because if you don't have a machine, you need to have like a scale to do it. If you don't have a scale, you're gonna have to add 2 full cans and almost a full 3rd can. But if you don't have how to measure it correctly, make sure you take it to a shop. So if they can do it for you and do it right, use a machine so you can have more precise measurement, because you don't want to, the AC compressor is gonna it's going to cool down not just with the oil and lubricate, but also cools down with the refrigerant. Okay, bring the temperature down. So the refrigerant and the oil, to some capacity, some is going to get mixed. It's going to travel throughout the system. So if you put too much refrigerant, that can damage. It's going to make the compressor work harder. If you put enough refrigerant, what's going to happen is not going to be able to cool down inside the vehicle, but it's not going to be able to cool down the compressor properly. And again, that is going to damage the compressor prematurely. So that's why the correct charge is always very important, not just of the amount of oil, but the amount of refrigerant. Keep that in mind. Hopefully that makes sense. Done. Now, gotta reinstall the belt. When you reinstall the belt, make sure the belt route is correctly, so that way when you install everything else, the belt's gonna work and nothing's gonna come out of place. If it comes out of place, you can have a problem. Okay, alright guys, I think that is going to be all for this video. So if you like what you saw, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below, and appreciate the time. Appreciate you checking out the channel. For your first time, please take a second, subscribe to the channel. And if you're already a subscriber, hopefully you found value in this video, how to replace the compressor, so you can actually save money and troubleshoot and fix your vehicle the correct way. Alright guys, once again, thanks for watching. Do your best, forget the rest. God bless. See you in the next video. Later.